Go.
Hello, I'd like to introduce myself to you. My name is Julie Gallo, and we are standing in the Shadowbox Gallery and Frame Shop, a Kingwood-owned business for 35 years that belonged to my parents, Vince and Susan Semary. They bought the Shadowbox Gallery in 1978 when it was for sale in the original Kingwood Shopping Center. And my father at the time was coaching football at Rice University. And the head football coach, Homer Rice, he was getting let go, and he thought that he may not have a job after that group of coaches left, so he decided that it was time for him to go into the art business as he had always wanted to. He had a master's degree in art education, and he wanted to do his art full-time and teach art, and the Shadowbox Gallery was going to be the best way for him to do it. So I'd like to show you some of his artwork and kind of explain to you a little bit about his style, and I'd like to take you through the gallery and show you. Here on this wall, you'll see that these are some small originals at the bottom. They were his signature florals. My father did some very delicate florals, which is in complete contrast to what you would think a football coach would do. And you know, but that was the sensitive side of him that came out in his artwork. And he had such a delicate touch when it came to those things. He also has a lot of Americana themes, like the space shuttle and the flag with the books on the United States, very symbolic books like on the Liberty Bell and the Revolutionary War. And he loved those themes. He loved bringing those out in his artwork. This was a painting from a series he did called Ghetto Beauty, and he saw beauty in the brokenness in the city and the architecture, and he liked to highlight that. So he had several that he painted and sold, and this is one that is left from that. Also trees and landscapes. He did a lot of those, especially being inspired by the beauty around us in Kingwood. And you could see he loved to play with the light coming through the trees and the deer and the beauty of the water running through the woods. And his work is just captures Kingwood so beautifully. This is one of his Good Oil Day prints. In the late 80s, the Good Oil Days Festival was a big deal in Humble, and it celebrated the beginnings of Humble. And my father was the featured artist that did these prints for, well, these paintings that later became prints for the Good Oil Days, the official artist for them. So this was one on the Artesian Well and Mary Stanley Bathhouse. And we have more that I'll show you later, but these are historic spots in Humble, and it really captures the history of Humble. These over here were from his trip to Italy. He took lots of pictures of architectural details and buildings that he thought were beautiful. This was from an old jail in Italy that he saw the door and the knocker on the wall. Or no, I believe that was a horse hitch, I'm sorry. But he saw the beautiful detail in that and wanted to capture it in his paintings. And then we also see the blue bonnets that are such a Texas source of pride, and we have a lot of blue bonnet paintings that my father did. And he just loved to go to the hill country when they were in bloom and take pictures and capture those in his artwork. He also has a lot of the landscapes of the desert and pueblos, and then the beauty of the trees in the winter. And my mother framed this so beautifully, I think, that captures the colors and the textures that are in the painting, as well as the frame looking like the wood. My mother is the artist behind the framing. She's the one that did all of the matting and framing along with my father, but she really was the visionary when it came to that, and she could pick the perfect colors and textures for your artwork. Everything's so tastefully done. My father's usually did watercolors and drawings, but he also did acrylics. He's not as well known for his acrylics, but he loved the idea of working on a large scale and blowing up the artwork, or the subject matter rather, and to do it in great detail. And this is one of my favorites, these blue bonnets. I think it's just the contrast, it's so visually stunning. But this was a series over here called Moon Trees, and we have about 3 of those. He liked to play with the idea of this modern moonscape with the tree showing through the moon, and they're really intriguing as well. This is a print from his Four Seasons collection, which I'll show you later in the other room. This is called the Passage of Fall. And this was the other original from the Good Oil Days prints that we have. We have the Artesian Well that we saw before, and this one is the Train Depot. And these are one of only 2 originals that are left from the series of 4. And this was probably the most popular seller of all of the prints as well. Okay, so these are more of his acrylic paintings. More of his beautiful florals. This is a sort of a departure in the natural tones of browns and teals, but he did a lot of really soft florals like that you'll see. So if we could just go in the other room, I can show you the artwork in there.